Yields are rising a little bit in the US, but so are inflation expectation. Those rising yields are not really helping with real yields. The 10-year real yield here in the US opened up at negative 1%, 1.00% this morning. Real yields, again, are nominal yields, which are the yields I usually read to you. And you have to subtract inflation expectations, which are now rising given what's going on in commodities. Volatility continues in the equity space. As I speak to you right now, everything's off the lows, but not by much. We actually came off the lows, went slightly positive on a couple of the indexes, and then dropped back down. The NASDAQ right now down 2%, the S&P down 1.5%, the Dow down 1.2%, the Russell down 0.75%. I mentioned the yields on the 2-year were up about 5 basis points from Friday's settlement. On the 5-year, we're up about 6 basis points. On the 10-year, we're up 6 basis points. And on the 30-year, we're up 6 basis points. This all still reaching out for that sort of steepening curve, but it's just not enough to talk about right now. Commodities continue rising. Very interesting that copper actually made a new high and then came off and is now down over 4%, but gold higher. Crude oil jumped up above 130 on WTI. Now fell is in the high teens now, right around 118, still up over 2%. So in general, commodities keep rising. Aluminum, nickel, palladium, all up. But interesting that copper is falling, and silver is actually below the flat line as I speak to you right now as well. Now, the U.S. is considering a solo energy embargo against Russia. Germany already said no. Most of the EU said no. But the U.S. is still talking about and considering banning energy exports to the U.S. from Russia. So further sanctions possibly coming as the conflict continues. Now, looking ahead, President Biden is speaking to EU leaders this afternoon. And then in terms of data tomorrow, we've got the EU third quarter revision of GDP. We've got Canadian balance of trade tomorrow morning. And then at night, we've got Japanese final, Q4 GDP, and China's February inflation data.